have both samples here. So I just know about for a positive sample, what and all the changes happens. See, for every positive sample will work like a find as I told you. So you have a very big region where you have positive samples as well the negative samples. Set of all instances you have. That could be either a positive sample or negative sample. Now, for every positive sample, right? I have two regions here. I have general region and specific region. See, for every positive sample, you tell me which region is going to change. Is your general region shrinks or specific region shrinks?
General.
No, for every positive sample, your S is going to change. From most specific to general it goes, because this is specific region, this is general region. Anything you take on top and down. So for every positive sample, your S will be changing. Thus, the consistent hypothesis is going to be still more consistent. See, initially you start with this is my assumption of hypothesis. This is the possible solutions for the attributes. This is my assumption of solution. So after coming across all the samples, your S is going to change. So for every positive sample in candidate especially, S also changes, G also changes. Because positive samples are my meaningful insights. For a positive sample, first I will check the consistency of my general hypothesis. If it is consistent, there is no change. If no consistent, the G changes. I'm telling you very clearly, you listen, or else you make a note with, because you're having pen and paper with you. See, for every positive sample, first I have to check the consistency of my positive sample with G. If it is inconsistent means what? No same values, or if one is question mark, one is a value, it is also consistent. It is also consistent. So if there is inconsistency of your sample with G, with general hypothesis, then there is a change with G. If no inconsistency, don't disturb G, only check the consistency of your positive sample with S. This you already know that. Then S is going to change. What do you understand from this now? For every positive sample, there is a possibility of changing S and G if they are inconsistent. Till here is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now, for every negative sample, this is my general region, right? For every negative sample, remember your G is going to shrink towards S. Initially, all are general. Later on, you're going to get something that is called sunny. You're going to specific. For every negative sample, there is no change in S. Remember, negative samples are only for our understandability that this is my negative sample. It is not going to give me the optimal solution. The negative sample, negatively classified one, is not going to give you the optimal solution. For every negative sample, there is no change with S. I no need to check the consistency, but I will refer this S. I will refer the previous S. I will refer the previous S with respect to my negative sample, and then I will change the G. This you will write down. For every positive sample, I have to check the consistency of the sample with G as well as. If it is inconsistent, it is going to change. For every positive sample, I have to check the consistency, because positive samples are going to give you the optimal solution. Positive sample, for every positive sample, we have to check the consistency of the sample with G as well as. If it is inconsistent, the respective regions are going to change. If it is inconsistent, the respective regions are going to change, especially S is going towards G. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
But for a negative sample, be careful here, but for a negative sample, there is no change with S, but only I will refer my previous S. I will refer only the previous S, previous specific hypothesis, so that for a negative sample, there is no change with S. I will refer the previous specific hypothesis. Then I am going to change the G. Then I am going to change the G. Please make a note. For a negative sample, there is no change with S with respect to the previous specificity because that is positive, right? Previous positive. I'm going to change the general region because in one position, if I lose, I just come to know that what if I have taken care that I'm going to win. The taken care to win is nothing but the positive sample. So you have to refer the previous S to change your general region. So if it is clear, I'll just go for explaining you the example. Previous day example, I'll do it again. And then one more example also I'll solve today. Let me share the screen to you. Can you able to see the screen right now? Which is the complete solution actually. You please have a pen and paper with you and solve according to me. I think I cannot paste it here. I think I'll use Jamboard. It's okay. Look at the screen, please. Yes. See, I have taken all my samples here. You could see at the bottom. Okay, I think it's not shared. 1 second. Now the screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. Just look at the bottom left corner of your screen so that all these are my samples. X1, X2, X3, X4 are my samples. So what is your first sample is? Classifier data, 1, right? 1 means your positive sample. So this is your positive sample. So for a positive sample, what did I told you? First of all, according to the algorithm, you have to initialize your uh, specific hypothesis is mostly specific, and then general is with mostly general. So write down S not equal to all fives. Here it is zeros because all five. 6 attributes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 attributes. So initialize your S naught with, in the upper region you initialize all zeros or all fives, your G naught with all question marks. I have to initialize the most specific hypothesis and the most general hypothesis. Right now, I don't have any considerations when Aldo is going to enjoy his water sport. Correct? No doubts, no, till now? Then consider your positive sample. First one is your positive sample because it's classified with 1. What did I told you for a positive sample?
We'll move towards G. The
Yeah,
positive
you will
means
move towards G, but before going for towards general, before you shrink your specific for a positive sample, you have to be sure that whether this sample is consistent with the general as well the specific. Whether the sample is consistent with G as well, yes. Yes, first check G, with G. Here you have sunny, warm, normal, strong, warm, same. Here you have all question marks. Is it consistent or not?
yes, ma'am.
Consistent, because question mark in the sense for the sky to be either sunny, cloudy or rainy, anything will work. There is no constraint. Question mark in the sense no constraint, so that it is consistent. A value and a question mark is consistent, so all are consistent, all values are consistent. One thing changes also, worry. So I don't, if it is consistent, you should not change your general. That's why when the sample 1 is consistent with G naught, so G1 also same. That's why G1 comes here. So just write down G1 also, G naught equal to G1 equal to the same hypothesis. Because it is consistent with sample 1 also. Then you have to check the consistency of the sample with the specific hypothesis. It is not consistent because phi and a value both are not same. I am very specific here. I am little specific here. So both are not same. So that based on your sample, very first sample, your hypothesis is going to be changed. So S0 is different, S1 is different. So for a positive sample, I am going towards general. See, S0 got shrunk to S1. S1 is nothing but your same data itself. Any doubts till now?
Ma'am, why did we mention G1 and G2 also there?
No, it is already done, right? Don't worry about G2. I'll tell you later. Right now, G0, G1. That's why I'm telling you, please make a note. Parallelly, you solve with me. G0 equal to G1 equal to same. Because why G1 has come here? Don't worry about G2 right now. Abhishek, still having doubt?
Okay, so like, why did we take G1 also, like in the beginning?
Yeah, I told you, no, for a positive sample, it is consistent with this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So there is no change. That's why I have to take G1 also same.
Okay, okay. G0 was the initial one and G1 is with respect to the
Next
first
one.
sample.
Next
Okay.
one. With respect to the first sample, it is still consistent, no change. So G0, G1 both are same. G1 means first sample consistency.
Okay, ma'am.
It is initial sample. Initially, all question marks. Even after the first sample, G is no change because it is consistent. So G0 equal to G1 equal to question marks. Don't worry about G2 right now. G2 is the one after your second sample. Now, the specific region changed because it is not consistent, it is inconsistent. So my specific region is going to change according to your first sample. You see, the first sample itself is your S1. So right now, you are, what is the latest hypothesis in S? Don't consider S not. Your hypothesis in S is changed. This is your right now hypothesis. This is your right now hypothesis. Now, I have to go to the second sample. What is my second sample? Sunny, warm, high, strong, warm, same, which is also positive because 1. You know that for a positive sample, you have to check the consistency of the sample with both G0 and then with both, sorry, with general as well with specific. What is your specific right now? This is your specific. S1 is your specific right now. Just consider only S1 and here, this one. Now, let me go to check the consistency of my sample with my general region. What is the hypothesis I know in my general region? All question mark. So it is obviously consistent with my second sample as well. So even G0 equal to G1 equal to G2. All are same. No change. But now I have to check my consistency of the sample with my recent hypothesis. What is my recent hypothesis? Sunny here. S1 is my recent hypothesis. Sunny here. In my second sample, it is also sunny. No change. So that sunny only will come. Consistent means do nothing. You take as it is. Sunny, sunny. So take as it is. The sunny comes here. Fine. Sunny comes here. This is your S2 actually. S2 equal to, within the curly brace, hypothesis has to be represented like this within the angular brackets. Why curly braces means in candidate you will get set of all hypothesis. That's why curly braces. So sunny. What is the next attribute in S1? Every time I have to check the hypothesis with sample, it will result me in the new hypothesis. So my initial hypothesis is at S2. What is my next attribute? Warm. My next attribute is warm. Here also warm. So same, right? Warm itself. What is next? Here it is normal. In my attribute, it is high. So it is inconsistent, right? Different values. Normal and then high. Then how do you replace? So anything will work. Normal also will work. High also will work. So in that case, I have to make it general. I have to make it as a question mark. Are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Is here also strong, so strong will come. Warm, here also warm, so warm only will come. Same will come. Even a single value changes, it is different. So that S2. Don't worry about S3, it is S2 right now. Now what is your resultant hypothesis in specific region? Is S2. In general region, it is same. Right. Now what is your next sample? X3, which is a negative sample. You have to be very, very careful when a negative sample is coming to you. Negative sample. Okay. Now, what did I told you for a negative sample? Even in your negative sample, you have to check the consistency of the sample with G, where G changes, but no changes happens to S. This is the universal truth. There is a possibility of, for a positive sample, there is a possibility that you can change G also. But in this case, it has not happened till now. But when it comes a negative sample, you should not change S. You should change only G with respect to the previous S. What is your current S right now? This one. Your current specific hypothesis is this one. So remember, this is your current specific hypothesis which you got, S2. Now, I told you for a negative sample, the S will not change. So that can I take S3 here? So that is the third sample. So yes. S2, S3 both are same. Now, this is the truth, universal truth. For a negative sample, S will not change because S has more power. S are with respect to the positive samples. So you should not disturb them. Negative sample only for my verifiability, that I should not take that move. Now tell me, based on your sample, G is going to change because for a negative sample, G has to shrink towards S. How do you shrink it with respect to the previous S? What is your previous S? Now you have to do one thing. You have to compare your sample with your previous yes for a negative sample, previous yes, the positivity only will come. You should not take the negative value into your hypothesis. You should not take this negative. Now you see it is rainy here. What is your previous S? What is your previous S?
S2.
S2, that is sunny. Correct? That is sunny. Here rainy, there sunny. This should be different. Only then you have to consider that. Because it is negative, sunny is positive, so that I will construct a hypothesis only with sunny. You see that here, I will construct a hypothesis only with, I have to take the positive value. And one more hint I told you, as from general to, I cannot take all the values at a time. I cannot take all the values. One by one, I will make it specific. Remaining things, anything will work. So that here rainy is there. I have to compare my previous hypothesis. What is that? Specific hypothesis. Sunny is there. Sunny is positive, whereas rainy is negative. So that positivity will come. That is called sunny. It should be different. This value should be different. This value should be different. Only then I can take the positivity. If both are same, that hypothesis will not come. So I will construct a hypothesis only with sunny, remaining all will be anything. So one will have, this is one of the hypotheses you have constructed. Go to the next value. What is the next value you have here? You have cold, right? What is the next value in my negative sample? Cold. Go to your hypothesis. What is there here? Warm. Here you have warm. Exactly, cold is different and warm is different values. And I will take the positivity into my hypothesis. What is that? Warm. So you see, in the second place, I have constructed warm, remaining all question marks. Are you people understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Fine, thank you. Then coming to the third attribute. What is the third attribute? High. Third attribute value is high. What is it here? Question mark, right? So there is a discrepancy. Now I cannot come to know that what is the exact opposite value of this. Question mark means any value will work. Even high also will work. So in the positivity high, in the negative, sorry, in the negativity high, in the positivity question mark means high possibility is there. So that this is a discrepancy. So I will not get a hypothesis for this. Then coming to strong. What is the next attribute? Strong. Negative value is strong. Even the positive value is also strong. I will not get a hypothesis for this. Then warm, here also warm. So I will not get a hypothesis. Then come here, change. What is that here? Change. What is here? Same. So different values. I will take the positive value. What is the positive value? Same. So that I will construct a hypothesis with same. The position matters. The same has to come at the same position. So this and all the set of all possible general hypotheses. When I am moving from general to specific after considering a negative sample. The negative sample has very big impact. You will learn from negative. You will not change anything to positivity. For a negative sample, S will not change, but G will change according to the S. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you tell me you are going to get one more sample, that is the positive sample. Now for a positive sample, you're going to change both G as well. Yes. First, check the consistency of your positive sample with the recent G that you got. What is the recent G that you got? This one, right? I'll tell you the recent hypotheses are G3 and S3. after your third sample, G3 and S3. Consider only G3 and S3 right now. Now, for a positive sample, first of all, I have to check the consistency of my sample with G. Then I have to check the consistency of the sample with S. Here, G and S both will change. That is the, what do you say, the beauty of a positive sample. Okay, Sunny here, right? Then I have to check the consistency of my positive sample with the G3 right now. There should be having a hypothesis with Sunny. Yes, I have it. Sunny here. I had a hypothesis with Sunny. So that will come as such for G4. I will take this. Remaining, I don't worry. Remaining, I don't worry. I had a Sunny here. I had a hypothesis with Sunny. So that I will get this. G4. In G4, I will get this. Consistent. I will take only the consistent hypothesis. Same values. Next, I have warm. In my second position, I should have warm. Do you had a hypothesis like that in G3? Yes. You had a hypothesis in your second position that is called warm. So that also will come. That also will come. What is left out then in G3, which is inconsistent? You see, the last value is same, but you see what is the last value here? In the sample, what is the last value? Change. So it is inconsistent, right? According to the sample, it is inconsistent. So this same is going to be removed in G3 so that this region, because my sample got over, I could not shrink my general region more than this. And this, keep it with. Now, for my sample, I have checked the consistency of the sample with G3 so that G4 is resultant sample. Sorry, resultant hypothesis. Now, I have to check the consistency of the same sample with S, because for a positive sample, your G also will change and S also will change. So let me check the consistency of this sample with previous S. What is my previous S here? It is S3, right? It is S3. Now, Sunny here, so Sunny will come. Warm, warm, warm will come. High, question mark. So I told you a question mark and a value is consistent. Don't worry, a question mark and a value is consistent. You will get the question mark only because you are moving from specific to general. Anything will work for a question mark. Keep it as such. Then strong, strong, take strong as such. Cool, and then warm. There is a discrepancy here. Different values. So make it general. Different values, make it general. That is the algorithm of find S. Change, same, different values, make it general. So with this, my samples got over. What is my final hypothesis, possible hypothesis? Further, I could not shrink them. I have S4 and then I have G4. What is the purpose of candidate elimination algorithm? To construct the set of all possible consistent hypotheses. What is the purpose of candidate elimination algorithm? To construct the set of all possible consistent hypotheses, possibilities. Now I have to check the possibilities from S4 and G4. I have to check the possibilities from S4 and G4. That is nothing but your version space. Version space is nothing but constructing the possible set of consistent hypotheses from candidate elimination algorithm. Now, check the possibilities from here and here. Suppose you have two possible sets. Set theory, you know, right? Two possible sets. Out of that, the resultant set, union of them. Then, so I have Sunny, warm, strong. I have Sunny, warm. Now, I'll just take the combinations of them from S4 and G4. I will write one thing that is from Sunny. So here I have Sunny, right? From Sunny, again Sunny will not come, so that I will take the combination Sunny and then warm one combination. You see, Sunny and warm one combination. Then I will take Sunny and strong one combination. See, Sunny and strong one combination. Same positions it has to come. You should not change the positions. Then I will take warm and strong one combination. Warm and strong one combination. Understood?
Ma'am, please repeat this last one.
Yes, just with the G4, you see, G4 has, means from S4 and G4, you should go with the possible combinations. Possible combinations. I know which is also consistent hypothesis. This is also consistent. This is also consistent. How many hypotheses you have right now? S4 1, in G4 you have 2. One hypothesis, second hypothesis, third hypothesis, right? With this 3 hypotheses from S4 and G4, you're going to construct the possible combinations. Possible combinations. So how and all you can make the combinations? Now here, let me consider only Sunny. With G4 and S4, you have to take the combinations. I have Sunny here. Again, I don't consider Sunny because Sunny is already there. So I will consider warm. So with Sunny and warm, I will take one combination. Because Sunny, warm, strong is already there. Is already there. I don't consider all 3. I will take 2 combinations right now. One combination is there. One value combination is there. One more value combination is there. 3 values is there. So 2 values I will take right now. That is Sunny with warm. That is one. Next, Sunny with strong. You see 2 combination values. Then warm and strong. Possible set of hypothesis, consistent one. How many possibilities are there? In set theory, how do you make a set? 1 element, 2 element, 3 length elements. Abhishek, understood or not?
Yes, ma'am, understood now.
Remaining, please give me the possible, sorry, who and all didn't understood here, please. Because candidate elimination, it differs from problem to problem. If you understood the basic depth of algorithm, it will be easier for you to solve any example. In this case, it is not a worry because you have first 2 positive samples, after that negativity comes. But samples differs. Now let me go with one more example. Is that enough for today, or let me go with one more example, because which is also a very good example. If you go with this, I think all your doubts will clarify. It's left to you. I don't know what is the interest of you people.
You can start, ma'am.
I'll finish it of that. Okay. Just listen. Anyhow, I'll share the notes today. Okay. Just look at here. This is the example I have taken. Example 3. Example 2 is also done, which is also easy. You can go through. 3 is a little bit, I thought it is worth in explaining you. Okay. So here, just don't go to the last column every time and then get a mistake. Here, the last column is not the classified data. You see C of X. This is the classified data. Based on these values, you can say that which is a positive example, which is a negative example. Not this. Smart is one of the attribute. Don't go to that. Sometimes they will give you the first column itself. Now, what is my first step of my algorithm? I have to initialize this. So I have to initialize my most specific and most general. Now, for every positive sample, these 2 fellows are going to change. Any doubts, please in between interrupt me. Again and again, I will not ask any understood like that. It's embarrassing for me. So that if you have any doubts, please let me stop over there and explain you. Now, this is my initialization. Now, what is my first sample is? My first sample is a positive sample because 1 classified with 1. Now you tell me for a positive sample, I'm going to change both. I'm going to check the consistency of both. Now, let me go with the G first. Right? Since all question marks, I cannot say inconsistent here because it's highly consistent. Any value will work for me, so that blonde, thin, yes, arrogant, toothy, anything will work. So that anything will work. So there is no change with G naught. Correct? No change with G naught. So that I will write my G naught and G1 both are equal to question marks. No change in G since it is consistent. No change in G since it is consistent, because all question marks, whatever may be the values here, I don't bother. G is consistent. So G naught comma G1 both are equal to question marks. Now what I have to do then? I have to check the consistency of my sample. What is my sample? This is my sample, right? I have to check the consistency of my sample with yes. Because for a positive sample, I have to consider both S and G both. Since it is consistent, G is consistent, no change. Let me check with S. Yes, it is inconsistent because a phi and the values are inconsistent. Then what I have to do? My S will change. See, my S will change. Earlier it is S naught. Now it is S1. It is changed according to your data set. You got a new S. You got a new S. So this is your new S right now. Any doubts till now?
No, ma'am.
Fine. Then I got a negative sample. My sample 2 is the negative sample. Right. So when a negative sample comes, you have to be very, very careful. You should not change S, but you should refer the previous S. You should refer the previous S. So based on the previous S, your G is going to be changed. 1 second. Yes, where we are? As I'm dealing with a negative sample, right? As for a negative sample, there won't be any change with S, but with previous S, whatever I have done, that is the asset for me. Previous S is the asset for me to construct the new G. Because anyhow, for a negative sample, I'm going to change G. To change that G, you will get the previous S as your asset. That is what I wanted to tell you. Here I have written that already. There is no change with S, right? So that with the as a negative sample, no change with S. That's why I have taken my S2 is also same. Then what I have to do now? I have to compare my negative sample with the S. Now I have to compare my negative sample with S. I will take only the S and then I will construct the G. If this point is clear to you, it will be very, very good so that you will solve any problems. For a negative sample, immediately you write no change in S so that S will remain as such, rename it. Because it is the second sample, negative sample, second sample, so that S2 also same as S1, no change with S. Then what you have to do next? Obviously, there is a change with G. There is a change with G. Earlier, all question marks, there is a change with G. How we are going to change the G is based on your previous S. Because previous S is done with a positive sample. Previous S is done with a positive sample. So previous S, see the figure here, box. This is my negative sample. This is my previous S. Based on the previous S, my values are going to change. G values are going to change. I will take this as my negative so that exactly opposite value should be there here. See, it is brown, it is blonde. Which value come to hypothesis now? Which value come to G1 now?
Blonde.
My goodness. Good. Then you are understanding. Only positive values will constitute the consistent hypothesis, not the negative. From negative, you will learn. But from positive, you will construct. Remember. So blonde will come. So I will construct a hypothesis. And one more thing, when I am working with my negative sample, the G at a time will result in a broader perspective. You will get set of all hypotheses from G to S. That's why I will construct only blonde, remaining all question marks. This is the beauty of a negative sample. At a time, you have observed something. Whenever I am moving from S to G, every time one hypothesis are getting resultant. But when I am moving from G to S, when I'm changing G values, it is changing in a broader way. A set of hypotheses are resulting. So I will construct one hypothesis with blonde. You see that blonde, remaining all question marks. Next thing is, you see, this is also thin, this is also thin. That should not be the case. Actually, there is no positivity, negativity here. Both are same. So there won't be any hypothesis with thin. There won't be any hypothesis with thin. Next, you have no and yes, so that yes only will come. You see, third position, right? S is third position, right? So third S. Then coming to the next one, arrogant and natural, both are different. So that arrogant will come. Fourth position. Then pleasant and toothy. So you will get the one with toothy. Fifth position. Then yes and no. You will get the one with no. You see that no. So for a negative sample, no change with S. Immediately rename it the next number. For a second sample, negative sample, no change, so that both are same. But refer that sample for your negativity, so that that sample values will come here for the new G. Any doubts still here? Yes. See, then is positive sample. What you have to do with the positive sample? Both will change. You have to check consistency of both. First, check the consistency of the general. So blonde, plump, yes, goofy, pleasant, no. This is my recent general. So I have copied that here. So that what I have to do, blonde is here, blonde is here. Yes, positive sample, no, correct. Consistent, keep that blonde as such. So I had kept it. My G is changing now. So I have to rename it. It is G2. Earlier G1, it is G2. I will keep that blonde as such. Next, I have plump here. There is no such thing. Don't worry. Go to third value. Yes. Yes, there is a third value. S. Keep that also. Consistent. Then all these things. Arrogant is here. Do you have any arrogant over there? No. Fourth place. Leave it. This will go. Arrogant will go. Toothy also will go because pleasant here. No here, no here. So that no will come. So this is your new G with respect to the positive sample. You see, for a positive sample, G also changing. Initially, it will not change because all question marks, but later on you will get change. Now this is your G2. Now for a positive sample, I have to check S also now. What is my previous S? Copy it here. Previous S, S2. I have copied that. Recent S. Now I am checking the consistency of the sample with S. Blonde, so blonde will come. Plump, thin, question mark. Two different values means what you will write? Because you are moving towards general for specific. So make it question mark. And then yes, make it S. Say consistent values, keep it as such. Inconsistent, make it question mark. Goofy, arrogant, question mark. Pleasant, toothy, question mark. No, keep it as such. No. Done. Next is your negative sample. So for a negative sample, fix no change with S. Write it as such. S3, S4 both are same. See, I have written like that. Because it's my fourth sample, negative sample. For a negative sample, no change with the S. So that S3, S4 same. Write down. But your G will change, no? For a negative sample, according to whom? According to this fellow. According to S, it will change. Now this is my recent G. This is my previous G. So that I have to compare them both. Definitely there should be different values because it is negative. It is positive. It should be negative. I have to compare these two fellows. What the sample and then the sample and then this. This and this should be different, but you take the positive value, not the negative value. See, I have compared here. This is my negative sample data. This is my S3. Black and blonde which will come? Positive value only will come. Blonde only will come. Then remaining all nothing, but only last one. Thin question mark will not come. No, yes will not come. Sorry. Here no is there. Here S is there. Different values. Positivity, negativity, different. I should not take no because that will give in wrong solution. So I have to take yes for the optimal solution. So that yes I will take. Remaining all will go because the last no will go. You see, no is here. That will go because both are same. Both should not be same when you work with negative sample. So this is my resultant hypothesis with fourth sample. This is G3, this is S3. Then finally, thank God, this is also negative sample. For a negative sample, no change with S. So make sure S5 also same. See, S5 also same. But I will refer this fellow for my negative sample to change the values of G. This is the G right now. It is going to change. One of thing is going to be removed. Now look at, here also blonde is there. This is my negative, right? Here also blonde is there. This is positive because sample is positive. Negative and positive should not be same, so that this blonde is going to be removed. Inconsistent. This is inconsistent. Now removed. Then remaining only one, third place S. Look at third place S. Here no, absolutely negative and positive. Construct one with positive, that is S. Only out of these two, first one is inconsistent. So take the second one. So this is your G4 and this is your S4. Now can we construct, this is one hypothesis, this is one hypothesis, then possibilities of them will construct the version space. See, I have taken S5, G4. S5, G4. These are also completely version space, but combinations also I have to take. Here 3 value combination, here 1 value combination. Now I have to take 2 value combinations. What is that? Blonde with S is one combination, and then S and S will not come. Then no and S will come. Just writing the combinations. This problem myself I solved actually for the purpose. Okay. Any doubts? But you have to thoroughly go through, only then you will understand.
Yes, ma'am.
So in exam, ma'am, do we need to do the entire thing?
Yes. If you simply give the answer, they will not accept. No, they will think that you have copied or you have memorized and written. Theory part you can neglect, but the comparisons, all those things you have to do. Probably they will ask you algorithm along with that some data set. Sometimes providing the data set, apply the algorithm they will ask, or else only algorithm also they may ask. Algorithm I haven't explained you because I am giving you the theoretical description. I'm explaining the problem. Once you understood problem, it is easier for me to explain the algorithm. Or else it's something blindly I'm explaining, you don't understand. Okay, so the next week, I think this is my last class for this week. Next week, we will see the lab programs for both finders and the candidate elimination. So before that, I will try to provide you the WhatsApp message or anything, how I can communicate to you so that you can install and keep it ready. Anaconda, it's an open source tool only, you can install. Which is the latest version compatible with your Windows, you can install Anaconda. So where you can work with Spider or this thing. What is that? Notebook. Jupyter notebook. Sorry. Long days happen now. Okay. Then anything else to ask me? I'll stop the recording. Wait.